Now this is from this slide here was kind of from last week. In Nehemiah's time, Jerusalem was in shambles. The walls were down. The temple was built, but it was exposed. The homes were exposed. Many were under attack. Many were being taken captive, and many lives were trying to rebuild. And God raised up a man. You hear that? God raised up a man. Or you could say listen, in our terms, God raised up a person. You could be a woman or a man, a child. It doesn't matter what age you are. God could be raising you up to make a difference in your place, wherever you're at. So here we go. Watch this. This is what we kind of thought about this last week, and I want to kind of dig a little deeper. You see, Satan, his attacks. We're going to talk about Satan's attacks. We're going to get really deep for a few minutes, and then we're going to go back to Nehemiah. We're going to kind of pull it all together. But whenever God begins to move, whenever his anointing is present, Satan begins to counter-move. He counterattacks. So how many times you thought, well, why is Satan attacking me? Let me tell you something. Satan is not, listen carefully, Satan is not attacking you. He's counterattacking you. Listen to that. You drew first blood when you said yes to Christ. You drew the first strike when you stand and say, yes, Lord, I'm going to do it for you, Lord. My mind's made up. You attacked him. As long as you sit there and do nothing, he doesn't care. The devil will come into church, sit on the pew with you, and fan you. If that's all you're going to do is sit on the pew, he'll fan you. Oh, be careful. He'll bring you drinks. Something cool. Something cool to drink. More tea, something. It's when you stand up and say, I'm going to be counted for. I'm going to make a difference. I'm going to let this generation know there is a God and that he is in control and that the world is not in control and that this crazy election, let me tell you something, this crazy election, we've got Democrats, we've got Republicans. You say, well, I don't want to vote for either one of them because I don't like either one of them. Let me just give you two little pieces of advice. Number one, if you do not vote, whoever wins is the one you voted for. Number two, well, three things. Number two, this next president is going to change generations. Because they're going to be able to put 2 or 3, maybe 4 Supreme Court justices on the bench. So you got to think about this. Whoever's going to put, listen, you got to think of right now that the Supreme Court is really still leaning liberal, but there is some balance. It's possible to be knocked totally off balance, and from here on out for generations until one of them dies because they're up there for life, until one of them dies or gets impeached, then we're going to have this whatever. So you've got to think about the next president is going to be putting Supreme Court justices on the bench. Think about that. And number 2, 3, 4, whatever it was. Remember this. I honestly, if I could be honest, can I be honest with y'all? I don't necessarily like either one of them. Surprise. But let me tell you something. It's who we got. Now, watch this. Listen carefully. So don't necessarily vote for the one that's 444. Vote for the one that won't be against you. Amen. I can't say that loud enough. It's not necessarily what they're for that I'm voting for. I'm going to vote for the one that's not against me. Okay? Now you got to figure that out. That's why these people died, to give us this liberty. It's your decision to make. But you got to think about it. They're going to be supporting, they're going to be appointing all these Supreme Court justices. And number 2, I vote for the one that's not against you, and you'll be okay. All right? So watch, here we go. Here we go. Now that I've got all that out of my system.